Everybody, we're back. My first guest is the co-anchor of Weekend Update and head writer on Saturday Night Live, which tomorrow night has guest host Shia LaBeouf and musical guest My Morning Jacket. Please welcome Seth Meyers. Thanks for being here.
It's good to be here. It's always good to be here.
Very exciting times. I understand you. Is this right? You just got back from Amsterdam?
I was in Amsterdam, yeah.
Yeah, what's going on? What was that all about?
It was fun. I was over there. First of all, it was funny because I was over there and Matt Lauer was there during the Today Show.
Yeah.
For Where in the World is Matt Lauer?
Right.
So I also got to do the Today Show when I was there.
Oh, that's cool.
But it was really funny because they're very top secret about Matt Lauer and where he's going to be.
Yes, they take that. I always thought, oh, that's just a fun stunt on the Today Show.
Yeah.
They take it very seriously, like it's a military secret where Matt Lauer is.
And they're like, don't tell anybody, as if like I was going to go into a club and be like, hey, ladies, want to know where Matt Lauer's going to be in 4 days? I happen to know. But it was fun. I went over for the 15-year anniversary of this theater I used to work for over there called Boom Chicago.
Is that an improv theater?
Yes, it's an improv comedy
I've
theater.
heard of this theater, yeah.
It's a good time, and when we go back, we always try to do something special, and so like 16 of us went out to this dinner at a dark restaurant. I don't know if you've heard of this concept. Pitch black restaurant. Like they lead you in, you can't even see your hand.
I have heard of this. It's a thing that they do where you can't. The idea is you can't see anything when you go.
You can't see anything, and the idea is it will heighten your other senses and make it a more enjoyable dining experience.
Because you can't see, you'll taste the food.
You'll smell, everything is better. And we walk in, and I will say it's a little disorienting. And
how do you find your seat and all that?
They lead you to it. A little less disorienting for me than my friend who, a minute after we got in there, threw up.
He threw up?
He threw
Why?
up. He got like vertigo from the darkness and threw up.
Okay.
And I will say, I can't speak for the other senses, but smell is heightened in a dark restaurant. And if you were at a restaurant with a regular one, you know, with the lights on, and somebody threw up, everybody would be like, oh, God, that's terrible. But nobody knew. And like very slowly, the smell like went down the table.
Okay, yes.
I promise you it was harder for me than it is for you to hear.
At least our lights are on.
Yes.
But it was. It
was not good. It was a terrible experience. The other thing was they were like, you know, we will tell you what the food is after you eat it, so you'll have the fun of eating food and not knowing what it is, you know. And I was like, oh, that would be really cool, you know, some interesting food. And it came, and I was like, all excited. And it was like, I took a bite, and I'm like, that's a salad. It's like the least interesting salad I've ever had.
Yeah.
And then they came out and like told us the secret, like, you'll be surprised to hear you've eaten a salad made from a unique vegetable known as lettuce.
Yeah.
It was like torture, though.
I think they're hiding the fact that their food isn't very good.
Yeah, they definitely are. It was it was torturous because your eyes don't stop trying to focus. So you just like, it's horrible. It really is horrible. It was like going to a waterboarding restaurant where they're like, you'll be underwater for 2 minutes. When you come up, the food tastes really good.
Yeah, it'll heighten your appreciation for food and air.
Yeah.
Now, is this true? You performed last night. This is a big deal here in Manhattan. The Time 100 party.
Yes.
Time magazine announced their 100 most influential people.
Yeah.
And you went to this event and performed.
Yeah, Amy Poehler and I, the very talented Amy Poehler and I, got to tell jokes. It was great because it was basically like roasting people that are way more famous and influential and powerful than us.
It's not just celebrities. A lot of people on that list have invented stuff. They're curing diseases. They're changing.
Yeah.
They're changing the world we live in.
They're changing the world we live in. And then there were like 10 idiots from Saturday Night Live there. And I think like the guys who like are like doing molecular biology, I get the sense don't watch our show that much, so they don't know who we are.
Right.
And I went to the bathroom and I came back and Will Forte had come over and smashed my dessert with his hand. And left a note that said, your dessert has been forte'd.
Ah.
And then I walked over, and he saw me, and he ran away, and some scientist lady yelled, stop that man. I think she thought there was, like, a dessert
A crime is
fiend.
being committed.
Yeah.
I shot him for you. No. Well, speaking of Saturday Night Live, Shia LaBeouf is hosting.
Yes.
This week, and he's hosted the show before.
He did, and he was hosting last time. He was about to do Transformers, and this is a nice thing that happens is every now and then, like, he came and like they sent us a box of Transformer toys. It's one of the perks, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't pay for my Transformers anymore, you know.
Yeah.
But the best thing was there was this plastic Optimus Prime helmet that like modulates your voice to make you sound like a robot. So we're just like always putting on and being like, oh, I got so hammered last night.
That's exactly what you use that helmet for.
Smart stuff.
Sure.
Yeah. And
your cake.
we also use it. We're constantly using it to scare people.
Right.
Like I'll go into Amy's office and like just hide behind the door, and then she'll come in and I'll be like, "You look so hot right now." But I got super burned because you know how like Tuesday nights like stay all night.
I used to work at Saturday Night Live, and that's the night where you write all the sketches. You stay up all night.
Yeah.
It gets weird. You're there at 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning.
And it was one of those. It was like 5 in the morning, and I went to Mike Shoemaker, one of the producers on the show, one of my good friends, still working there. And I walked into his office at like 5 in the morning to show him a sketch. It was very dark. And I sort of walked in, and then the door swung open, and Optimus Prime was there. And he said, "I am Optimus Prime." And it scared me so much that I left my feet. I jumped and landed on a couch. And then I had the second shock of seeing that Optimus Prime was not wearing anything but the helmet. So it was one of those like, oh, oh. Yeah, and he's like, "Don't tell me you're not feeling it, too." Yeah.
Well, you know, I had a question for you, which is a lot of politicians come on Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
It's their way to show that they have a sense of humor and get exposure. Do they just pretty much come in, do their bit, and leave, or does anybody ever hang around for a while afterwards and chill out?
It's funny, like, a lot of them are, like, in the middle of a really hard campaign. They, like, come in and they leave. But we got Mike Huckabee at the point in his campaign where he was, like, mathematically eliminated. So, like, he was hanging out. He was, like, just happy to be there. And it was really, I feel like we got him at, like, the gift basket portion of running for president. Like, where you couldn't win, but there was still a lot of, like, free thanks for coming gifts. Because he was, like, mathematically eliminated. We did a really fun piece with him. He had a great sense of humor. And I was like, you know, I got to ask, like, why haven't you dropped out? And he was like, "Well, had I dropped out, would you have me on Saturday Night Live?" And I was like, "You got a really good point there, Mr. Ryan. You got a really good point."
Now, do you have any free food around here?
Yeah.
Was he putting stuff in his pockets when he went?
He was very happy to be there, so it was great.
Well, tomorrow night should be a great show. Shia LaBeouf hosting Saturday Night Live, musical guest, My Morning Jacket. I know you're a busy guy, but thanks for dropping by.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, very funny.
Thanks,
Seth Meyers, everybody. We'll be right back with Becky Newton from Ugly Betty. Stick around.